Forecast. I'm 6 News First Alert meteorologist Mallory Schnell on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
39 now in Omaha, Lincoln, and Council Bluffs.
Schrock Innovations presents the Midwest #1 independent computer repair company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, Des Moines, and across the country via the Schrock desk. This is Compute This.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. Like the big man said, 4 locations to help you out when you've got problems with your computer. The original, the OG Schrock in Lincoln, 7501 South 15th. That's just a couple blocks south of 14th and Pine Lake. Then we opened up this other little space right across the street from Village Point in Omaha. That's 168th and Burke. Then came, our teenage Schrock Innovations, which is 84th and 370 over in Papillion, and the all-new Baby Schrock. You all know the song. It's right there in West Des Moines, Iowa, 9500 University Avenue. There to help you out when your computer breaks, when you have problems, when you need websites built, when your hard drive stops working and you need that data recovered off of it, or maybe you just have a tech question or you need software to protect your phones or your other devices. Schrock is here to make sure that your technology works for you. The number to join us on the program this morning is 888-250-2091, 888-250-2091. Ask a question or make a comment, and we will put you in the drawing for a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate, good for anything your heart desires over at the service center, or at least, $25 worth of anything your heart desires at the service center. The cool thing is we don't even send you the certificate anymore in the mail. We just create a Schrock account for you and put it in your Schrock account. That way, if you want to use it on the website, you can use it on the website. If you want to come into the service center, you can come into the service center, and it's always there ready for you. You don't have to have that piece of paper. All right, quick program note. I just want to let everybody know that Compute This is recorded live Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. And then it's rebroadcast at several other times throughout the week in different stations in different places. So if you want to call in live, you have to call in Sunday morning at 7. You can call the number not between 7 and 8 a.m. on Sunday, and you will get a helpful Schrock Innovations person to help you with your computer problem. You just won't get on the air, and you won't get in the drawing. So I just wanted to let everybody know that up front. Now, if you missed last week's show, you missed a doozy. But the good news is you can always go back and grab it. Facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. All of our shows are archived there, as well as at SchrockInnovations.com. We're actually streaming live on Facebook right now if you want to join us. And I don't know why you'd want to, watch me talk, but you could watch me talk and listen at the same time. It's really kind of cool. But last week, if you missed the show, we told you all about the new 2020 holiday special laptop and desktop. Much more limited quantities this year. We're going to talk about that coming up here in the program a little bit. But they're selling very well, as they always do every year. We sell out every year. This year, we have fewer computers and longer delivery times. So, yay, Corona, whatever. I'm not going to make excuses about it. It just is what it is. Also, we told you why Google Chrome was getting more patches than a Boy Scout sash. That thing, I just tried to launch it on a studio computer in here and it crashed 3 times. So I don't know. Chrome, So the good news is if you launch the new Microsoft Edge, it basically is Chrome. It's Chromium without all the Google spyware. So it's kind of neat. We'll tell you, if you're curious about that, you can listen to the show there. Also, L'Oreal is finding that they're not selling as much makeup, which kind of makes sense. So we told you last week about how they're countering that. People, they're not going to work. They're not going out as much. So they're just not putting on makeup, right? Well, L'Oreal says, let's make digital makeup. And kaboom, all of a sudden you can be all dolled up for your Zoom call and then turn off the camera and, you didn't have to do anything this morning. Roll out of bed, put on your virtual makeup and go to work. So it's good stuff. Also, I reminded you to reboot your computers. If you haven't done that since last week, Patch Tuesday came out about a week and a half ago. So that's when all the Microsoft patches for your computer are downloaded for security. There were some doozies this time around. Just make sure to reboot your computer if you didn't do that last week. All right, so that's what we did last week, and that was just in an hour, right? So this week, we got a pretty cool show for you. We're going to talk a little bit, like I mentioned, about the holiday special laptops. Schrock Interactive actually helped a new business launch. And, you hear all this stuff right now about lockdowns and shutdowns and small businesses really getting their rear ends handed to them and restaurants having trouble. It's nice to know that there are small businesses that are starting now, that are starting in this environment. This is like that seed that grows in the middle of like a volcanic basin somewhere. even though the volcano erupts every 2 days, and somehow this tree is there. I mean, it's amazing. Ginger's doing some amazing stuff, and we're going to actually have her on the program here to talk with us about her business coming up on the show. Also, Flash is ending all support for the Flash player, as you know, at the end of December. You've probably seen the warnings on your computer screen. Does that mean you have to stop using it? We've had a lot of questions from people like, what am I going to do? What do I use instead of Flash? How does that work? So we're going to cover that on the program for you today. And then finally, I had some interesting experiences this week that led me to want to talk with you a little bit about getting prepared for the holiday season. The lovely Kimberly and I went out to get our ingredients that we need for holiday baking. We sat down and said, we want Christmas to be as normal as we possibly can be for the kids and for family and everything else. We have no idea what's going to happen. It's looking like we're headed towards some form of a partial shutdown or something. We've already, have relatives who can't gather or don't want to gather because, COVID. So we all saw how that impacted all the supply lines the first time around. And I warned you about that in January before it happened. That it's time to stock up, guys. I just wanted to make sure that warning was still relevant for the holiday season, because when Sam's Club doesn't have all the baking ingredients that you need to make cookies, and you have to go to Hy-Vee and you are able to barely pick up the remaining ingredients that you need, I just want to let everybody know that it may not be smooth sailing all the way through to get everything you're used to getting for the holidays, so it might be time to stock up a little bit. So we're going to talk about that a little bit in the show. And I'm not talking about Dad's mountain of toilet paper stock up. If you got enough rolls, you got enough rolls. You don't have to go buy more rolls. All I'm saying is you might want to make sure you've got the gingerbread you want, things like that. So we're going to talk about that on the program here as well. 888-250-2091 is the number to join us on the show. Ask a question, make a comment, and of course, we will put you in the drawing for a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. All right, so switching gears here over to the holiday special. The holiday special laptop and desktop are now available at Schrock Innovations. So you can purchase either one of them. They're $15.99. There is a $100 coupon code called Early Bird that you can use until the end of November to get a discount. So here's the thing, guys. We want you to order before the end of November, if at all possible, because we can't guarantee that we'll be able to get it to you by Christmas if you don't order before the end of November. Let me tell you a story. So we have to have demo models in the service centers for the holiday special, right? So we have laptops and desktops. The desktops are all deployed in all the service centers. Everything's good to go. Got to get those laptops deployed. Why are they not deployed yet? Even though, the catalogs are going to be done here in the next few days and we don't have display model laptops in all the service centers yet? That's kind of weird, right? Quantity limits, guys. So first of all, I have to give ASUS a name for every person that's buying the computer, right? So if I want a display model in each of my service centers, I have to go to like randomnamegenerator.com and say, generate a name. Now, Phil Filbertson is going to get himself a holiday special laptop. Hey, how about that? George McDonald. There you go. There's another one. It just makes up these names. And sometimes it's like, is that an Irish name? Like, what is that? Anyway, so it makes up names. We tell ASUS the name. ASUS doesn't follow up or register it to that person. They just want to know that it's for a person. And we're not buying them all so we can scalp them or resell them at a 50% price increase as people figure out you can't buy laptops at Christmas this year. So we buy one. Good to go. We wait the requisite day before we can buy another one. Good to go. Now we have one in each of our 2 service centers. As you heard the big man at the start of the program, we have 4 service centers. Day 3, we order another one, right? Guess what? Quantity limit 3 in a week. Day 4, I go to order, and I can't. Day 5, I can't. So on Monday, I will be ordering the final holiday special laptop display model that we can put on display. This is before I can even order anyone's orders who have already placed orders. And this is just ordering it, guys. I mean, literally, that's how tight the supply is. We're seeing similar supply shortages in motherboards as well as desktop processors too right now. So everybody upgraded their tech early in the year. Nobody was getting supplies from overseas because everything just stopped. And so we literally ate through all of the backlog of inventory. It's all been sold. So now as stuff hits the shelf, it goes out. How many of you have tried to go to the grocery store to buy cans of pop to find that there are no cans of pop? I have 24-ounce bottles of Diet Pepsi in my refrigerator. My wife comes out. She says, Thor, what in the heck is this? She holds up this giant bottle of pop. She's like, I can't finish a can. What am I supposed to do with this? I'm like, well, drink what you want and I'll put the rest in my cup, and I'll go to work on it. So, I mean, it's like that, right? So we're having the same problem in computer parts, guys. So all the way around, it's important to plan early this year. Now, the holiday special laptop and desktop, if you're not familiar with the holiday special, this is amazing. The holiday special is a computer that blows away any other computer that you've ever had. It is completely, as the youngsters will say, it's completely OP, way overpowered for what you need. And a lot of people, when they buy a computer, they make the mistake of purchasing a computer that just meets their needs now. It's all I need. I don't need to spend more money on that. It seems like a very Midwest value, right? I don't need to spend a lot of extra money to get a lot of extra perks that I'm not going to use. So I'm not going to spend the money. That makes sense when you're making a decision between the F-150 Platinum, the F-150 Lariat, and the F-150 XLT. Those Platinum seats feel really good, but how much time is my butt going to be in the seat? Do I just drive to and from church every week? Do I really need the Platinum for that? Well, it doesn't work that way with computers. The technology continually marches on, and we are seeing, I don't know if you've been following what's happened with Apple and their M1 processor. There has been literally no incentive for Intel, AMD, or anybody else to make a radically new processor that completely destroys the previous generation of processor. When you think about it, is it generation, the laptop I'm streaming the show from is a 7th gen laptop. It's capable of doing just about everything I need to do. We're on the 10th generation now. So I'm 3 generations behind. I don't really have any upgrade pressure, right? The new MacBooks that are coming out with the M1 processor that Apple's making destroy Intel processors. I mean, absolutely wad them up, throw them in the trash. They put them in the VTech Kids toys because that's all they're good for, destroys. It doesn't do AMD any favors either because AMD has been competing with Intel on chips. So they've been playing the incremental increase game just to stay ahead of Intel. Now here comes Apple, giant disruptor, huge trunks of cash in grandma's basement. They can throw as much money at. They have more money than God, more money than in Intel, more money certainly than AMD. They can do whatever they want, and they just make this awesome processor. And they say, sweet, now our computers will be faster than everybody else's. Isn't that cool? And there's nothing anybody can do about it. There is no answer. There is no competition. They just rewrote the rules of the game. You don't think that's going to cause all of a sudden other people to respond? Do you think that PC manufacturers are going to be okay with having an Apple computer that kicks their butt? No. They're going to demand higher powered processors now. And when Intel and AMD start cracking out these higher powered processors 2 or 3 years from now, the computer you have now is going to look like a VTech Kids toy. The one you buy this year is going to look that way. That's what the holiday special does for you. The holiday special is the fastest processor that's available today. The laptop has 16 gigs of RAM. The desktop comes with 32 gigs of RAM. Who needs 32 gigs of RAM? Okay, my son is playing on the VR headset. I am using a coin microscope to take pictures of coins from my dad's coin collection. I've got my show work up over here. I've got Facebook going on. There's some Parler on this screen over here. All these things are happening at one time. I have 32 gigs of RAM in my computer. I'm using 20 of them. I guarantee you're not going to use 32 gigs of RAM with whatever you're doing. But that's not the point. The point is you have it so that 5 years from now, when 32 gigs of RAM is the standard that everybody has, you've already got it. Your computer is not obsolete. Your computer is able to continue to work for you going into the future. That's why our holiday specials last people, on average, 7 to 10 years before they have to replace them, or they just get tired of the case. I don't like the way that looks. I'm going to get a new computer. They're modular. So the desktops, if you don't like the case, we can switch the case, man. You don't have to buy a whole new computer. We can just move the parts into a new case. You ready to get that brand new chip that they came out with? The reason we build with AMD is because it's like Legos. Switch out those chips, you got a faster computer. Need more memory? No problem. This motherboard can take more memory. We can pop more in there for you. So all the way around, everything about the holiday special is upgradable. It's customizable. It's $15.99 for a computer that's going to last you 10 years. If you buy a new computer, let's be generous and say you're going to buy one every 3 years. Well, if you spend $700 a computer 3 times in a decade, you have spent more than a holiday special, have you not? And you're going to do all the data transferring and all the inconvenience and all the moving around and reinstalling programs. Get a holiday special. Forget about all that stuff. Buy a data transfer from Schrock. We'll move all your stuff for you. Literally take it home and just start using it. It's beautiful. So the holiday special happens once a year, obviously, the holiday season. We sell a limited number of these because we are selling them at cost. The laptop and the desktop, guys, these are, if you price these computers out at Dell, which we have done, they are $3,000 computers. And we're selling them for $1,599. The reason we do this is because once you buy a holiday special, we know you're not going to buy another computer for a decade. And people tend to come back for service and support and, warranty repairs if needed, or, security software, all those extras that are profit centers for a company like ours. People come back to where they bought the computer to get those things. So it makes sense for us to sell a few computers at cost to bring in some new customers or to retain existing customers in our database. Now, the accountants tell me for some stupid reason, if I sell all my computers at cost, we will go broke and we will not be on Compute This anymore. And so we have to limit it. Normally we limit it to 150 of each. So we sell 300 computers and then we're done. I can't get 300 computers during the holiday season this year, guys. I can't get that many. So it's 75 of each this year. We sell out when we sell 300. So the long and the short of it is the numbers on the website are accurate, how many we have available for purchase. That when it says in stock, there's not a way for us to say in stock but back order. So it's in stock, and that means that you have a place in line reserved, and then as I can order in the computers, as they physically allow me to order the computers, I will get you your computer. So it's going to take between 14 and 21 days to get a computer when you order one. So if you order one now, you might get it before Christmas if you order it this week. And that's not a certainty. You might. We're not promising anybody anything this year. Let us know if you have a Christmas gift, though, and let us know if it's not a gift, because we can move people around and shuffle things around. Some people are really, really cool about it. Hey, Thor, I'm not in a rush. If somebody needs a Christmas gift, let them go in front of me. Our customers are good like that. So if you need it fast, let us know. We'll make sure that you can get it before Christmas if at all possible. Otherwise, we're going to order them, obviously, in the order that they came into the service centers. So it's a great sale, guys. We do it every year. It's one of our most popular sales, honestly. And it's just fun to do. It's fun to give someone a computer that they take home and they plug it in and they call you back and they're like, I had no idea. I had no idea. It's like the first time, you've been driving the F-150 XL your entire life. And the first time you put your butt in one of those platinum seats in the F-150 and you're like, I had no idea. This is like sitting in a recliner. It's like that, except it's a computer, not a recliner. All right, 888-250. Well, it could be a recliner. I don't know. You could get a good office chair. Let's put it that way. 888-250-2091. Oh, a couple quick points about the holiday special desktop before we move on. Keep in mind, guys, this computer this year does not come with a DVD drive or a card reader. We did a poll on Compute This during the Aftershock. Almost all the respondents, with I think 2 or 3 people, said they wanted the DVD drive. Everybody else said get rid of it. The reason we got rid of those things was to free up money in the budget, because we sell it at cost, right? So we have a budget of $15.99. We added a full HD webcam. I was at Walmart yesterday. They had 3 webcams in stock, and they were all 720p. You're not going to look good on a Zoom call. Sorry. So get the HD camera. So it comes with an HD webcam, comes with a 3-piece speaker set. So these computers are home office ready. Everything that you would need to be productive, whether you're doing office work, whether you're just using it for telehealth. I can't tell you how many people have switched to telehealth now, especially people in those vulnerable populations. And they call me back and they say, Thor, I tried to connect to my telehealth appointment, but they couldn't see me or hear me. Like, that's because you don't have a camera or a microphone. Well, why not? Because you have a desktop. They don't come with those. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, how much is a webcam? Let me see if I can find one for you. Hold on. So yeah, we've been buying and we've been hoarding webcams for the last 3 months to make sure we had enough for this sale. So it comes with a webcam. It comes with a 3-piece speaker set. So it's ready to go for whatever you're going to do. And if the whole COVID thing blows over next year, we all get shots and we're all good, or however this plays out, you'll at least know that your computer is good to protect you no matter what happens. 888-250-2091. We're going to take a quick break on the show, guys, but when we come back, we're going to be joined by Ginger Rogers. Ginger is the owner of LegalDNP.com. She's a legal nurse consultant, and she is starting a brand new small business right now in the middle of a pandemic, believe it or not, and doing well. And we're going to tell you her story and all about her website coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations Data Recovery Lab saves the data the other guys can't. The next time your hard drive, camera card, or flash drive fails, let Schrock get your data back. External hard drives are handy. You can back up multiple computers to them or even use them to move lots of data from one computer to another. Computer users have been buying the same old external hard drives for years. While our computers have been getting faster, we still do backups that take hours or watch epic progress bars creep by to move files. Schrock wanted more for our customers, so our innovators created the fastest external hard drives on the planet. Schrock modular storage devices are up to 50% faster than Seagate or Western Digital externals and are modular in the truest sense of the word. We can create whatever size and speed of drive you need for all of your needs, and all modular storage devices come with a data restoration guarantee. If you use our drives for backing up and your computer's hard drive fails, we'll restore your backup to your repaired computer for free. Fast, simple, and flexible technology solutions from Schrock Innovations. It's what we do. Compute This Pro Tip number 753. Have you ever wondered how the bad guys always seem to find a way into your computer? Gone are the good old days of email worms and I love you viruses. Nobody wants to steal your data anymore, or in many cases even your identity. Today's cyber criminals want to sell access to your computer or hold your data for ransom. The bad guys are exploiting zero-day vulnerabilities to break into systems that are supposed to be hack-proof. These vulnerabilities are always newly discovered, and the criminals have a brief time to exploit them before they get patched. Antivirus and firewalls do not prevent these attacks, but you can minimize your computer's exposure by installing all security patches as quickly as possible. The average computer needs 12 patches a week. That's not including the ones that are automatically delivered to your computer. Boost your cybersecurity by staying on top of it manually, or use a patch installation program like Secure Updater to get your computer the patches it needs. This pro tip is brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
All right, hopefully you all got some sleep. We don't have any listeners in Brooklyn that I know of, but if we did, they'd be listening right now. Welcome into Compute This, guys. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. Number to join us on the program, which seems to be going viral. I don't understand. 888-250-2091. Wanted to welcome to the program Ginger Rogers. Ginger is the owner of LegalDNP.com. She's a legal nurse consultant, and she is joining us on the show this morning. Ginger, welcome to the program, and congratulations on the new business. How's everything going?
Well, good morning, Thor. Thank you for inviting me on. The business is doing well. There are a lot of moving parts, to get a business started. So we're still in the upward phase, but things are moving along. Okay,
so help me out here because not everybody, I certainly didn't know before you came on board as a client what a legal nurse consultant does. What does a legal nurse consultant do?
Okay. I'm a certified legal nurse consultant. So what we do is we work with attorneys on cases that have some kind of healthcare connection, things like medical malpractice, personal injury, workers' compensation. And the trick is, with the healthcare perspective, we look through medical records and we can help the attorney determine if the case really has merit to move forward. And if the attorney decides to move forward, then we can switch into our research phase. We look for authoritative research. We look for testifying experts, and we can help with a variety of different aspects of case development. But it's all in the focus of supporting the case for the attorney, getting him or her, the strongest case possible.
Gotcha. So if you had an implantable mesh device between the dates of this and this, you may be entitled to compensation. You're the person that figures out if that person is entitled to compensation? Is that that is one type. I don't figure it out. I look through the case information and then give an opinion to the attorney. Oh,
the attorney
gotcha.
figures out the attorney figures out the legal part. I just put together the healthcare part.
Okay, see, and I guess it makes sense. All this time I thought these attorneys actually knew something about medicine, but when you put it that way, it's kind of a duh. No, they're not doctors, they're lawyers, and usually one is not both. It's a lot of school.
Right.
So they kind of need both perspectives to have a medical case. You need somebody there that knows how to do this stuff. So what made you decide right now, in the middle of a pandemic, to decide, you know what? I think it'd be a good time to roll out the red carpet and start a business. Let's do this.
At the beginning of the year, my full-time job now was put on hold. we're back up and running now. But at that time, I was thinking, maybe I should have a plan B. What if, my job doesn't come back or anyway. So I've always been interested in the relationship between medicine and the legal world and decided this was the time. So I went and got certified and started the business. And I wanted to use you guys to start the business because I've used Schrock Innovations over the years. You were mentioning the holiday special. We bought a desktop holiday special back in 2012.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's still working. It's still rocking and rolling. It's great. and your team has always been very quick and honest, and I just trust the work you do. And so I wanted the website to be sort of a virtual first impression, but I wanted it to look professional, so it didn't look like I was just a hobby. This was a business, and it needed to present that way. And I knew you guys would be the ones to do that.
Gotcha. And so that's an interesting point because a lot of times when we get customers or clients that come in for website work, it's about attracting leads. And that's, how many visitors can we get to the site? How can we convert them from a visitor to a customer? What kind of demographic are we looking for? Things like that. But your website was different because most of your leads come from personal networking, and the website plays a support role to your personal networking. So it's not like there's a bunch of attorneys out there Googling around, oh, I need a legal nurse consultant. What am I going to do? Yeah. They actually either know somebody who knows somebody or they know a legal nurse consultant because that's their job. And our job with the website was to make a website that basically reinforced that attorney's decision that Ginger Rogers is the right woman for the job. She has all the credentials I need. It says it right here on the website. Every question I could have as an attorney about her is answered right here. I think I'm going to give her a call and bring her in as a consultant on this case. So I guess tell me briefly, we only have about a minute left here, but tell me briefly, how did the design process go? What were your fears and how were those fears addressed? Tell me about the process.
I didn't know what to expect, but when we were talking, we had a Zoom meeting initially. You listened to, my ideas. You took those ideas and put them into a process of phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and you outlined pretty clearly what potentially would happen. Now, there are moving parts, like I said earlier, and so sometimes things change, but you were quick to communicate when those changes needed to happen. You also put together a anticipated charge so I could budget to get the site up and running in a timely fashion. So everything, as far as my end, everything worked really smooth, and I was glad to work with your team on this.
Well, thank you very much, Ginger. I appreciate your kind words. It means a lot to me, and it's really cool to launch a business, in the middle of a pandemic, and so I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to do that, Ginger. Ginger Rogers, legal nurse consultant. LegalDNP.com, Rogers and Associates. Thanks for joining us on the program this morning, Ginger.
Thank you. Thank you.
No worries. All right. 888-250-2091. When we come back, isn't that a good news story, guys? A business launching in the middle of all this and starting that adventure. I mean, it only gets easier from here, Ginger. All right, when we come back, Flash support is ending, guys. So when Flash support ends, do you have to stop using Flash? We're going to tell you what you need to do with your computer coming up next. Also, coming up later on the program, COVID holiday shortages are going to be a real thing this year. We're going to tell you what to look out for, what to stock up on now so that you can make sure all the treats and everything that you need can be ready to go this holiday season. All that and more coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations repair technicians also make house calls. Make an appointment and let us bring our award-winning computer support right to your home or business. Schrock Innovations has spent nearly 2 decades working to make your technology life easier, and the all-new SchrockInnovations.com is no exception. Now you can order new modular computers and solid-state laptops directly from our website, secure your computer with our virus-free guaranteed Symantec endpoint software, find innovative new technologies like our modular storage devices, and get free help and tips. Take a look at the specials section to find sales on one-of-a-kind items, display models, refurbished units, and our latest special offers. Swing by the Compute This page to watch TV segments and archived radio shows, or even get one-on-one help through the Schrock Desk. As always, we respect your privacy, so we secure our website with the latest encryption technology and only the most secure payment methods. You can pick up your purchases at any of our 3 service centers or have them shipped directly to your door. The new SchrockInnovations.com makes technology simple. It's what we do. And now, Compute This Pro tip number 373. Everyone knows we're supposed to back up our computers and then check those backups periodically to make sure they're working. So why don't most people do it? Lots of people have different ideas about what backing up means. Is it copying files to a flash drive? Is it using a fancy backup program? And how do you know it's working anyway? Windows makes backups easy through free software that's already on your computer. Open your control panels and click Update and Security. Select Backup and choose from all of the available options to get a regular, reliable checkup. You'll need something to back up to, like a Schrock modular storage device or some other backup hard drive. Backups usually run once a week, but you can always change the frequency. The best part is that if your backup ever fails, you'll see a notification in the lower right corner by your clock telling you something's up. Backing up your important data has never been easier. So take a moment to back up your computer today. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Fox News, I'm Karen McHugh. As of last night, most of California is now under a COVID curfew as officials hope to slow the spread of the virus.
The new restrictions require people to stay home from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. This unless they are running essential errands. It is designed to reduce the spread of transmission. The curfew will last until December 21st and cover 41 of the state's 58 counties.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer. Congress is nearly out of time if they hope to prevent a lame duck session government shutdown.
A key priority for the post-Thanksgiving recess is a spending bill to prevent a government shutdown on December 11th. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says Democrats and Republicans want to avoid another continuing resolution, a short-term measure. Congressional leaders have been stalled since the spring on additional coronavirus-related relief.
Fox's Jared Halpern. America is listening to Fox News.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
Clouds clear early today, making way for abundant sunshine. High temperatures will warm up near the 50-degree mark. Could be a bit breezy at times with winds gusting 20 to 25 miles per hour. We will drop down to the mid to upper 20s tonight. Highs on Monday just in the lower 40s. With Omaha's most accurate forecast, I'm 6 News First Alert meteorologist Mallory Schnell on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
39, Omaha, Lincoln, and Council Bluffs.
It's very relaxing now. How do we go from Beastie Boys to that? I mean, that's quite the. Whew. My blood was pumping, and I got my snack, did my potty break. I'm back for the next half of Compute This, and wow, this is deep, man. All right, folks, welcome back into Compute This. My name is still Thor Schrock, and I still own the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with 4 locations to help you out when your computers have problems. If you're like Ginger and you're trying to get a business off the ground, or if I got a panicked text message from a restaurant owner yesterday through Facebook Messenger on the website. Guy owns a restaurant, and he's probably looking at another lockdown coming up. And he's like, I have this Wix website that we threw together at the last minute last time around, and it's been working okay, but not great, which is usually how these things go with Wix and all the others and Square and everything else. What do I do? And how fast can we do it? And so, that's the thing, you guys. We're doing our best to help out business owners in these situations, but we got to make sure you got a little bit of planning time. But with the way things are looking, we're going to talk about this coming up in the next segment. The time to act might actually be now. So speaking of which, after the show is over, we do another little show on Facebook Live called the After Schrock. I didn't name it. You guys named it. So whatever. It's the After Schrock. And during the After Schrock, we got a pretty interesting show this week. Should you give Bitcoin for Christmas? I've literally received emails about this. And how should you do it? Where can I buy Bitcoin? Should I buy it at PayPal? Now you can buy Bitcoin at PayPal. So should you? Little questions like that. I liken it to my wife. One time I was like, we should give away a commemorative silver coin with the holiday special. And the lovely Kimberly looks at me and she says, that is the most old man thing I've ever heard you say in your entire life. That's like a grandpa thing to do. What are you talking about? And I'm like, commemorative Bitcoin, maybe. But this stuff has the potential to go really parabolic. So you give someone $100 in Bitcoin today, 5 or 10 years from now, it could be worth 10 grand. So something to think about. Now, of course, kids won't know. It'll be like, thanks for the piece of paper, Grandpa. Wow, I don't have any paper. This is really cool. What is my private key? I have no idea. So we're going to tell you about that in the Aftershock. If you're looking for an alternative to Google's YouTube, we're going to tell you about Rumble, which is a video website where you can share your videos, which a lot of people are looking into alternatives to big tech right now. Rumble is certainly one of them. Also, speaking of alternatives to social media stuff, I am on Parler now, and I'm doing my best. I was never a big Twitter user, guys. The idea of instantly responding to people and having real-time conversations, I'd love to do that. My wife says that when she calls me, I don't answer the phone ever. And when she texts me, I usually get back within an hour or two. That's the lovely Kimberly, guys. Where do you think Parler is going to end up? I think I check it once a day, whatever. But if you want to follow me, we're going to tell you how to follow me on Parler there as well. There is no business-personal separation. There's no business accounts on Parler. So literally there's some Schrock stuff on there, and then there's pictures of me with my nephew in there. So if you want to get a look at the behind the curtain, Parler's definitely the place to do it. 888-250-2091. That Aftershock will happen after the program today at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. Let's jump into those phones real quick. Craig, thank you for being so patient. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Hey, man. Thor, thank you very much for your show, the Schrock Innovation Show here, man, and great company. Really love it.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you very much.
iPhones, if there's a virus on them, I checked with your people, and if you think there's a virus on it, he suggested just go to the Apple Store.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you suggest?
Well, the thing, if you think the phone is infected right now, just about everything that could ail a phone is wiped when you do a hard reset. So if you think your phone is currently infected, the first thing you have to do is remove the infection. And the first thing that any infection does on any technology device is prevents you from installing software to remove the infection. So the best thing that you could do if you feel that your phone is compromised, and there's some people who actually do get their iPhones compromised. Think like Jeff Bezos. He got a divorce over a compromised iPhone. He was having an affair, and somebody got a hold of the pictures through a compromised iPhone.
Well, it looks like on the calendar. Like it says it on the calendar.
It says that you're compromised?
Yeah, it says that you have a virus. They got some, and I don't know where the hell this comes from.
Yeah, that's weird. So I would just wipe the iPhone. Then Apple makes it really easy to set it back up again. Just do a factory reset on the iPhone, set everything back up again from scratch. But then once you have done that, guys, infections on phones are a real thing. Thank you for the call, Craig. I appreciate you taking the time to join us here today. But infections on phones are a real thing. They happen on Android and on Apple now. So the best thing that you can do is install Sophos Endpoint Protection on all of your endpoints. What's an endpoint? Endpoint is your laptop. Endpoint is your tablet. Endpoint is your phone. You choose to protect one and not the other? Guess what? It's like saying, I'm going to lock the front door, but I'm going to leave the back door open, and I'm sure we'll be fine. No determined criminal is going to look for the back door. Don't they usually go to the back door first? Just saying. That no one has the Ring video doorbell on the back door, right? That's where you're going to go. So long story short, guys, you got to protect all of your endpoints. So at Schrock, we have the Sophos protection. We have it for your computers. We talked a lot about that migration that's going on right now of getting everybody off of endpoint and onto Sophos. If you haven't done that, your endpoint service has been ended at this point. You no longer have any protection. If you have an endpoint error message, you probably should give us a call. We're open to Saturday from 10 until 8 and Sunday from noon to 5. Of course, we're open the rest of the days of the week too, but you can give us a call and we can help you out with that. But you need to get your phones protected as well. And to do that, you just bring your phone into the service center. It takes about 2 minutes. We install the Sophos app. We scan a QR code in our service center with your camera, and boom, you're set up. That's that easy. And we can definitely take care of you that way. All right. And by the way, folks, if you are on Facebook at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, or if you ever are on Facebook, would really appreciate it if you would like and follow the Schrock Innovations page. Number one, when we do go live with an important announcement, like a security thing or some immediate action you need to take, if you're following our page, there's a greater likelihood that our live stream will come directly to you in your notifications. I promise you, we're not like literally on Parler. I don't know how these guys do it. Like, Dan Bongino has an alert literally every 10 minutes. Dinesh D'Souza, every 30 minutes there's and it's the same alert. like over and over and over. I'm like, what are you doing? You're just like polluting my feed here. I can't follow it. I just hit clear all because I can't, there's just too much. I won't do that to you. We only notify you. We only put a live up when there's something important to do or there's something really funny going on. We might do a live for that. You'll like it though, trust me. But definitely follow the show. And also, the more you interact with our Facebook page, the greater likelihood that you will become a top fan of the Facebook page. Now, top fans are awarded a little gem icon and top fan status. Loanne is watching right now on Facebook, and she is a top fan. Winston Jones, the unofficial audio technician of the Schrock Innovations radio program, he is also a top fan. Blake Hall, top fan as well. So you guys, Mitch is a top fan. Roger's a top fan. I mean, I don't know how many top fans we can have. I don't know if by you becoming a top fan, you will dethrone somebody. Somebody last week said, why isn't the lovely Kimberly a top fan, Thor? Huh? And I'm like, that's because she's an administrator and you can't be your own top fan. Funny thing about Facebook is you can't be your own narcissist. I don't understand. 888-250-2091 is the number to join us on the program. All right, next up, we have Terry on the line. Terry, how can I help you today on Compute This?
Yeah, how you doing, Thor?
Good.
I'm of that grandpa generation, and
you got a commemorative coin for me?
I would really like that, one of those holiday specials. But most of us my age are on a pretty fixed income, and just to pull up $1,500 or $1,600, it's just not possible. I'm wondering if there's any kind of pay plan or anything like that that would help us get that computer without breaking the budget.
Gotcha. So with payment plans, normally we work with our customers as much as we can. Obviously we accept Visa, MasterCard, Amex, all that stuff. Usually that's not what people have in mind when they say payment plan. We don't really have a layaway program per se. What we will do though is if a customer comes to us and says, hey, I want to buy a computer and I want to buy it within, the next couple months, can I pay half down this month and then pay the second half next month? And we tell them, sure, that's fine. We just won't actually prep your computer for delivery until it's paid in full. So that way, basically it's paid before then, but we don't have something that stretches out like, 24 months or anything like that.
No, I didn't mean that long. I thought something within the first year was what I was kind of looking at.
Yeah, we don't have anything that stretches more than a month, honestly. So if you want to split it up over a couple months, we can work with you. We're just, especially with the holiday special, because they are in such shortage. It's really difficult. We can't sit on one for a year and do a payment that way. One of the other things we can also do though is we can do PayPal as well on the website. So if you have a PayPal credit account or something like that, they do financing over 24 months with zero interest. So you could use PayPal credit, for example, to accomplish the same thing. On the website, you can order that. You can also pay in the service center with PayPal, but PayPal credit would allow you. You can do that on the website when you order online. If you're not somebody who orders online, that's fine. If you want to come into the service center, we can literally walk you through the online ordering process from inside the service center and do everything for you. So that way, you can have all the benefits of that online order and the PayPal credit and everything like that. Thank you for the call, Terry. I really appreciate your interest in the holiday special. It means a lot to me that you took the time to call. And don't give up on those commemorative coins. I think there might be something here, especially if they're made of like precious metals. If you have any coin designs, please forward them to me. T-Schrock at SchrockInnovations.com. 888-250-2091. Now, Flash is a big thing, right? Flash Player used to be what put all the videos on your screen. In the early days of YouTube, back when Netflix was still sending DVDs to your mailbox, Flash was how you watched all the video on the internet. If you didn't have Flash, you didn't have the internet. You want to watch a cat video? It's Flash. You want to go to a website and see an animated menu? That's Flash. You want to see one of those cool looking photography websites where the photographers have all these images moving and doing crazy things? All Flash. All that is gone December 31st. Adobe is officially ending support for the Flash Player, which means it's not going to get security updates. This is one of the most frequently patched pieces of software through Secure Updater. Literally, it gets patched every week. And they're going to stop patching it on the 31st. And they want everyone to stop using it at that point. We've really had an internal debate at Schrock of how we're going to do this, because the problem is, we can use Secure Updater, which delivers updates to your computer. We can send the uninstaller as an update, and it will uninstall the program from your computer entirely. We can do that. The problem with that is, what if you actually need Flash for something that's either work-related, or more likely, what if you are just completely hooked on one of those stupid Pogo games at Pogo.com, and you need the Flash player to play it? If we remove your Flash player, you're going to be very angry with us. So we were debating whether or not we're going to do that. Well, it looks like Firefox and Google are going to take care of this for us. Google has already eliminated the Flash player, so if you try to use Google Chrome in Flash, it just doesn't work. Firefox has announced they will prohibit the Flash player from running within Firefox starting in January. So that means in January you won't be able to use Firefox either. And since now Microsoft Edge is just another version of Chrome, that means you can't use Edge either. So now the steps you're going to have to go through to use Flash Player on Pogo.com is you're going to have to use an old, outdated, insecure browser that we wouldn't recommend doing because we can't keep you safe. Go to a website that makes all of its money by pushing ads and, potentially unwanted programs, let's be generous here, shoving those down your throat, with a browser that can't be secured to run a piece of software that is not secure so that you can play Minesweeper. Does anybody see a problem with this? It's not going to be good, guys. So the question is, what do you run instead of Flash? The good news is that your browsers already have all the capabilities to do Flash-like things without Flash. You don't have to do anything. Everything is built right in. The problem is the websites out there. If there are websites out there that use Flash, those websites will not function on any browser starting in January. They're just dead. They're gone. So those website owners have to find a company like Schrock Interactive to build them a new website, in HTML5 that can stream video without Flash. That's the solution. That's the only solution. So the people who make the games like on Pogo, some of the games have been recoded into HTML5. Most of the older ones have not. So it's not like you're going to lose every game, but if you lose your favorite game, that's what's going on. And no, there's nothing that we can do about it because we can't recode that for them. They just have to get off the X and do it themselves. 888-250-2091. I mentioned Secure Updater there in that segment. Secure Updater is a program that we make at Schrock that keeps all of your third-party software up to date. It is the perfect companion for Sophos because the one thing that Sophos doesn't do is it doesn't update your third-party software, which means there could be unknown side doors in your house left unlocked that nobody knew were, not even you don't know are there. Sophos doesn't know they're there. The manufacturer of the Flash Player or Adobe Reader or LibreOffice or Firefox or Chrome, they don't know that those holes are there. But the bad guys, when they find one, they'll walk right into your house and take your stuff. And so Secure Updater says if there's a patch, we're going to install it within 8 hours. And that keeps those side doors locked so they can't steal your stuff. It's a pretty straightforward concept. It costs just under $2 a month to have Secure Updater on your computer. You can get a free trial at secureupdater.com. We give it to you for 2 weeks. If you think you're doing good keeping up with your computer now, like on your patches, go to Secure Updater, install the free trial, and see how many things it updates. I think you'll be shocked. The average person needs 12 updates a week. If you are not manually doing 12 updates a week, because these things don't happen automatically in all cases, you're not protected. SecureUpdater.com. 888-250-2091. Going to take our final break here, guys. When we come back, COVID's a real thing, and shutdowns, lockdowns, fun times coming. Don't let it ruin the holidays. They're already talking about having to cancel Thanksgiving, and everybody's freaked out about traveling and everything else. You know what? It's like one thing after another thing after another thing. It feels like we're always responding and we're never getting ahead of it, right? So we're going to tell you what you need to do in the next segment to get ahead of this thing so that you and your family can have a peaceful, relaxing, normal Christmas season. We're going to tell you how to do that coming up next on Compute This.
Now you can configure and purchase laptops, desktops, tablets, and more, all at the new SchrockInnovations.com. Check out our specials for one-of-a-kind discounts and deals. In 1798, Eli Whitney's Connecticut Musket Factory was the first business in North America to use replaceable parts in a firearm. Before Eli's factory, if your musket broke, you had to send it away to an expert gunsmith for repairs, or just toss it and buy a new musket. Technology manufacturing has come a long way since the 18th century, but you wouldn't know it by looking at today's big box store computers. Dell, HP, Sony, and other manufacturers continue to take away your freedom to upgrade and repair your computer by eliminating expansion and repair options. Some desktops are even powered by a tiny laptop adapter. Schrock Innovations believes in Eli Whitney's idea of interchangeable and replaceable components, and that's why our custom-built modular computers last longer and cost less to repair than computers you see at big box stores. Ask your friends and family how often they replace their box store computers, and they'll probably tell you every couple of years. And what do they do with the old machines? They just get thrown out like broken muskets. Imagine a place where your computer's problems can be fixed quickly and inexpensively. Imagine keeping your computer for 6 years or more. You are imagining the kind of computers we build every day at Schrock Innovations. Our modular systems last longer, perform faster, and cost less over the long term than anything you can buy at a big box store. While the talented technicians at Schrock Innovations can't make you a musket even if they tried, our commitment to the freedom offered by modular computers is the modern-day extension of Eli's innovative musket factory. We think Eli Whitney would be proud, and you can take pride in owning a small piece of American innovation. The modular computer from Schrock Innovations. Compute this pro tip 843. Of all computer failures, the scariest and most expensive is the hard drive. But there are some steps you can take to save money and save your data before it's too late. Detecting failures early is important, so install a free utility like Drive Advisor from driveadvisor.com to monitor your hard drive's health and receive warnings when there's a problem. But most of all, hard drive failures happen slowly, so early detection is key to reducing the repair bill. Second, if your hard drive makes any unusual noises, immediately turn off your computer and do not turn it on again. These issues are physical problems, and the more you try to use it, the worse the damage becomes. Remember that most computer repair shops do not have the specialized equipment needed to recover data from a failed drive. Never open your drive or allow anyone else to do so. Opened drives always cost more to recover. Schrock does not charge for data recovery evaluations and quotes, so let the local pros look at your drive before you make any recovery decisions. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back into Compute This. If you could only hear the conversations that we have, that's going to be the next thing. There's going to be body language experts watching the camera feed at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations and lip readers saying, did he just say that? He either said that or his llama is hungry. We can't tell. 888-250-2091 is the number to join us on the program. All right, so this is not a Thorstradamus segment here, right? We only do those. That's coming, guys. We're going to have to answer for the Thorstradamus predictions that were made last year here at the that's our New Year's show, where we make predictions for the coming year, but we also hold Thorstradamus accountable for the predictions from the previous year. 100% accuracy rate. When I meet with this guy, I mean, he's a creepy dude, but when I meet with him, like, and he talks in riddles, I'm like, can't you just say it? No, he just talks in riddles. Anyway, so this isn't the Thorstradamus prediction. This is just Thor. And I'm saying there's going to be more supply chain disruption. So here's what's happening right now. We went through a lockdown, right? What was the whole point of the lockdown? Well, the original point of the lockdown anyway. It was to prevent hospitals from being overwhelmed. It was to flatten the curve, right? Slow down the rate of transmission so we can slow down the rate of infection, so we can slow down the hospitalization rate, so that hospitals have the ventilators and the equipment and the PPE to take care of people who really need to be taken care of. That was the whole point of the initial lockdowns. In Nebraska and Iowa specifically, we were really blessed. The leadership that we had at the top was able to kind of thread the needle and shut down some things and not other things. And I know that there's all kinds of questions of fairness and everything else and constitutional freedoms. Lots of things go into this, guys. And I'm not arguing any of those points right now. Those are aftershock things we can talk about, okay? Right now, all I'm saying is I am being a pragmatist. And I am telling you that there are going to be supply chain disruptions. That you are going to go to the store at one point to get the right vanilla extract. Because trust me, guys, you don't know this, but there is a difference between imitation vanilla extract and the Williams-Sonoma vanilla extract that actually comes from like Africa. There's a difference, and you can taste it. And any cookie lady will tell you that. And my wife gets the good stuff because she wants her Christmas cookies to be like, how do you do this? And she's like, oh, I just use vanilla extract, right? It's one of those things. So when you go to get that one ingredient, it's going to be gone. And you're going to have to substitute or make something different. And just like everything else in 2020, the cookie ain't going to taste exactly right. It's not going to feel exactly right. It's not going to be, whatever. So I have 3 kids. And my special needs daughter has no idea. She doesn't even know yet that Grandpa died. We were over at Grandma's house today or yesterday, and she picked up his cane and was playing with his cane like she always did. She kept looking around, and she just doesn't know, right? My son is 14. He'll eat anything. I'm not sure he would taste the difference between the extracts. Louis is 2. It's going to be his second Christmas. And now we always told Jacob, I'm not going to let, this is a family program. So of course, comes a time in a young man's life where you doubt the existence of Santa. Your faith is challenged. And when that time comes, sometimes to get you through that period of challenged faith, you can encourage them to support the faith of the younger generation in Santa Claus as well. And it gets you through that, right? It gives you that joy back. We just want a normal Christmas for our kids. We just want to, everyone's like, well, don't have family over for Thanksgiving because, you're going to spread it you're going to kill your family. And yes, there are people who are vulnerable and you do have to have considerations. All right. On the other hand, we didn't let my dad come to my son's second birthday party in April because we didn't know anything about COVID then. And now he's not going to be coming to my son's third birthday party. There's a consequence to not having family around too. So just keep that in mind. With that said, we want to be safe about it. But the whole thing is you got to be prepared, right? You have to be prepared to have the family get together if you're going to do that. Or even if it's just your immediate household, try to make it as absolutely normal as you possibly can. And so for us, that meant let's go to the store. Let's sit down and plan out everything all the treats we make, everything that we do. Let's get the turkeys. Let's call Just Good Meats and get the turkey. Let's do all this stuff because we don't know if there's going to be turkeys. Are they going to be able to get people into the packing houses to package the birds? These are all things you got to think about. This is all stuff that happened before. There were shortages before, but before there was inventory to sell. Before there was warehouses full of stuff that we could sell out of. Now everything is thin, guys. Go to Hobby Lobby today and try to buy yourself a Christmas ornament, and you can't. You just can't do it. They're gone. Well, some of them are anyway. It's getting picked through. So the moral of the story here is be prepared, sit down, make a list of what you need, and go out and start getting that stuff now. I'm not saying buy 5,000 rolls of toilet paper. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about getting the stuff that you need so you can have a normal, happy holiday season with your family. Because when it comes down to it, that's what's most important, right? Your computer may not work quite right, but we can fix that. I can't get you a turkey if there's no turkey, okay? All right, today's winner, $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate is Terry. Congratulations, Terry. We'll put that on account for you at your Schrock account. If you do not have a Schrock account, Addie will reach out to you and get you set up with one. Be sure to stay tuned for the After Schrock coming up here about 6 minutes after the hour on Facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. Keep in mind you can purchase your holiday special laptops and desktops on the website as well this year, available at SchrockInnovations.com. And we'll be back again next weekend for another exciting edition of your favorite radio show, Compute This. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great weekend.
This is News Radio 1110 KFAB Omaha.